Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Christian Productions. I am your host, Dante. Alright, so guitars, obviously they need strings on them, and after a while they get corroded and disgusting and rusty and these become dead. And on many guitars nowadays, they have locking tuners, and you're starting to see less and less of non-locking tuners. At least that's what I've been noticing with a lot of guitars lately. But there are guitars that are out there that don't have any, locking system on them, like a locking nut or fine-tuning adjusting system. And this is one example of a guitar that does not have any locking tuners on it. This guitar here, it's my Fender Starcaster. It's a pretty old one. It looks like it's 2010 model from what I'm reading from the serial number. Anyway, it's a really great guitar, but the only thing is, not any locking tuners. I might upgrade these, I'm not sure yet, but I might want to keep this as stock as possible, just because this is my first guitar. So anyway, as you can tell, these do not have any locking tuners on them, and that does make string changing a little difficult, but for those of you who do not know how to properly, restring a guitar without any locking tuners, I hate the term properly restringing a guitar. Like, I get it with some bridges, like, or with string guitars, like stuff with like Kahlers or Floyds or whatever, those need, correct way, because then it won't perform properly. But anyway, that's besides the point. But in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to restring a guitar that do not have any locking tuners. So things you will need: guitar, pack of strings, and some kind of winding and cutting device. Now this is the, this is the D'Addario like 3-in-1 guitar tool. It has the string winder, it's the cutters, and it also has the peg thingy here for acoustic guitars. But now if you don't have this, it's fine. Just get a string winder. If not, you don't have a string winder, then just use your fingers. But I do recommend getting this because it's really easy. It's like $10. But then you can also use wire clippers too, other than this, because wire clippers work well. That's what I used for a long time before I got this. But anyway, let me show you guys how to restring a guitar. Alright guys, one thing I did forget to mention is the things you'll need is a neck rest, but you don't necessarily need this, but it does help. This is also a D'Addario product, which D'Addario makes great things, which these are the strings here. Now I usually don't use D'Addario strings, but I don't really use this guitar a lot, so the fact I don't change strings enough on this, I'm just putting D'Addarios, because these last a very long time. That's which hence is why I'm using these. But these are still great strings. Not saying that these D'Addario make bad strings. I used these strings before I went over to Stringjoy. Before I moved to Stringjoy. I use these a lot. But these are still great strings. I definitely recommend them if you're looking for a good string company. So anyway, back to doing this. So here we have my guitar here. I'm obviously missing my high E because it broke. So that's partly why I decided to do this video. But anyway, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the little device here, or string winder, you just loosen everything, like everything super loose and floppy, like spaghetti, like cooked spaghetti. You just have to do a couple turns because this unwinds everything really, really fast. Then you just do that for all your strings, and just keep doing that until all of them are done. Alright, so all these are now really loose, and what you're going to do is you're going to take each string individually, and I usually like to cut it just right behind the nut. Alright, that's your last string. So now what you're going to do is unwind your strings. Let me get a bigger string, hold on. So it should look kind of weird right there at the end because they're wrapped, so you just undo that for each one of your strings. Last one. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these ends here, put them in the trash. You don't need them. And now let's move to the back of the body to show what you do with these excess strings. The back, this has a trem plate on it. Everything is blocked, so you don't need to worry about the whole setting up a trem thing. But just push them all through the back. So then the strings come through. Pull them out. The reason I like cutting them behind the nut is because I like cutting my strings is because, especially with since there's a trem system on it, it just comes out a lot easier. So there's that one. Get this G string out. I can't get that one out. That's a B string. Never mind. Hold on. I'm having trouble here, guys. Hold on. Alright guys, figured out the string problem, but anyway, back to the video. So with the leftover strings, you're just gonna wrap them up, just cable them up like that, and just toss them in the trash, because you don't need them anymore. Now it's really important. Take your strings, which, as I said earlier in this video, today I'm just using D'Addarios. These are in the 52s. I'm going to be putting these in, E standard, or drop D. I'll be switching between those two. Anyway, what you're going to do is, at least with the D'Addarios packaging, they have this little, well, not, this is really simple thing here, but which is really cool, which, seal helps keep all the strings super fresh, which is awesome. That's what the D'Addario package the strings in. And for those of you who don't know, D'Addario have like ball ends on each one of them, like colored balls on each of them, and other than other companies where they have individual sleeves and each gauge on it, so each string tells you the string gauge. But anyway, I'll show you what I mean. And then each color refers to the gauge of string. So in this case, your high E is silver, your B string is purple, G string is green, D is black, A is red, and your low E is brass. So you want to separate everything, so when you open the package, everything is like this. Take them out. So then these are your low strings, put them over there. These are your two middle strings, over there. These are your two high strings, put them over there. Silver is high E, so just make sure you uncoil them. I'm going to do, starting from high E to low E, you could do whatever way you want, it's personal preference, but I'm starting from high E to low E. So I'm getting silver and purple, because silver and purple are the top two strings. What you're going to do, usually there's a back plate, but I got the string out by removing the back plate. So anyway, it's going to be different, slightly different with each guitar, but most guitars they usually go through the back, or if you have a Gibson style, they'll go through a little tailpiece here. But you put your string here through these little holes in the back of your guitar, and push it through, and it comes through the top of your guitar, right there, and you just pull. The string's in place. Then just let it hang free, like I'm doing right there, and now just repeat this process for each string. Alright, now that's all your strings are through, and through your bridge, here comes the important part. Putting them on your tuners. So when you do this, as you guys can see, there's these little holes that the strings go through. Make sure they're all lined up, like parallel to the neck. It just makes restringing a whole lot easier when they're all lined up. No, they don't have to be perfect, but get them close enough to where they're aiming down the neck as close as possible. Right there. So now everything's lined up, more or less. And so here I'm going to start with my low E, which in this case is a 52 gauge string, which I'm not the biggest fan of a 52 for both E and D. I'd probably bump it up to 54 or 56. One of the two, but that doesn't matter at this point. So what you're going to do, pull it through, and then make it as tight as possible. Is important. Once you do that, you grab the string from literally right behind the nut, which is this part here for anybody who doesn't know what the nut is. You pull it back, and then pull it back just behind the first fret, which is this little metal bar there. You'll pull it, here let me show you again, pull from behind the nut to just behind the first fret, and then you kink. You just kink it from right behind it. It just doesn't have to be perfect. But kink it so it just stays in place and won't slip out. And I'll do that for each string. Again, you pull it through. Let me show you on this different string. Pull it through. Make sure it's sitting in the nut too, right behind the first fret, and then kink. And now you just repeat this process for each string. So now with most Fender guitars, you can see this little piece here that's a string tree. What that does is it helps keep tension, since there's no real neck, pull back. It's just a straight neck, and no headstock tilt. So this just helps with a little bit of tension and keep the strings in the nut. So you just usually come with 2, but on this one I removed 1 just to keep that one. So anyway, it's just the same process. Just make sure it goes under the string tree, because that's kind of important to keep the tension with these 2 strings. And then you just do the same thing, but make sure it's always under. Here again, there's these little notches underneath that you put it underneath the notch, pull tight, or put it through the tuner. And then do what you've done before, just pull it to the 1st fret. There you go. Now we're going to start, let's pull everything, all the other strings out of the way except for the low E. Now what you're going to do, which is, make sure you follow this because this will be really important, is pull it as tight to where it goes into the kink. And you want to keep some downward pressure, like you want to take your pointer finger, push down on the fretboard, and use your thumb just to make a little more tension on it. And you'll start winding. Now when you wind, make sure the turn is, here I'll show you guys once it's all turned. So when you just want to start doing it, make sure it's going towards, it's going that way, not the wind is going this way, not towards you. So say you're facing my same way. You want to make sure that it's, facing that, it's going that way, because then if it pulls that way, it's going to bind. It's not going to be okay. So, and then you just have to now just twist it. Make sure everything is tight as possible when you wind it down. So I want to show you guys something really, really important when restringing your guitars. With winding, here, let's see if I can have it focus. It's not gonna focus, but as you guys can barely make out, each wind goes under another. So when it goes around, make sure the first one goes under the string that's coming out, and the next one goes under that one, just to make sure, because that there just helps with like tension, and like since it doesn't lock, that's technically locking, making it lock on itself. So that helps with tuning stability, and it just overall makes it more of like it just locks itself in, and it's really tight. So just make sure you do that. And then you just repeat the same process with each string. Alright guys, as you guys can see, everything is now strung up and in tension, under tension I should say. As you guys can obviously tell, nothing is in tune. So get to tuning. Alright, cook it a little bit. So I'm in tune. For the most part, I'm in drop D because I only play drop tunings, and my band during one of my band set, the song on my band set we play in drop D, so we play a little bit higher than we usually do, which is drop C. But anyways, besides the point. So drop D because I need to practice our song in drop D. Anyway, so you're in tune. Just got these things on them, these overhanging boards. So that's when. Where did I put my string? Here. So when this comes in handy, because it does, or any kind of string cutter come in handy. Alright guys, so my camera just died, so I'm shooting now with my phone, which is a different resolution and different frame rate. So sorry about that. Anyways, if you do see a quality change, it's because my phone is in a different resolution, a little bit better, but that's besides the point. My purpose is, what do you do with these now? Gotta cut them off. Now, the reason you want to cut these off is because A, your headstock will look so much cleaner, is 1. 2, you won't look stupid because you have these hanging off. And 3, this is a really, really, really dangerous, not really dangerous, but it is a dangerous hazard because, you could be rocking out on stage, doing some, like, rocking with your head, like, moving your neck around like that. These will be flailing all over the place. You could poke yourself in the eye, you could hit your vocalist in the eye, hit your drummer in the eye, or hit whoever in the eye with these, and these are really painful. I'm not sure if you can see the end on my phone, but these are really pointy, and I've gotten cut on these, and that's never fun. That's when these come in handy, as I was saying just before my camera cut out. You're going to cut right behind the tuner, where it's coming out. And these cut really, really well. Currently, the biggest string I've ever cut with this with ease is currently a 68, because that's a 68 gauge string. Because I had a 7 string before, and I had it tuned to G, and I used, 11 to 68 before, and these cut through strings really well and easy. So 6/8, but these can cut through bigger, I can tell, but that's besides the point. But definitely get these. So just go ahead, cut everything just behind the tuning peg. So you do have a little bit point, as you guys can see here. Focus. There we go. You do have a little bits poking out, so just in case it does slip out just a little bit, you'll still have a little bit of extra room, just a little bit of extra room, if you need to retune it and anything comes undone. So just do that one. I'll do that one with my hands free, but go ahead and cut. So let's go ahead and cut this one. And cut. Now, just throw these away. Makes a mess too, so make sure you don't step on these. Let's pick up everything here and in the trash. Alright guys, so that pretty much does it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, hit the subscribe button below. Hopefully you guys found this helpful too. So that's the guitar. Again, just in case you forgot what the video is, no locking tuners, and that's exactly what this video did. I hope, at least my intent for this video is to help you guys educate those of you who don't know how to restring a guitar without locking tuners, or don't know how to restring a guitar at all. That's your basic to it. But I'll possibly, when the time comes around, if you guys are interested, there's a lot more videos out there, so I'm not sure. But anyway, if you guys want to see how to restring a guitar locking tuners, leave a comment below, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification, so you're notified whenever I post no more videos. You'll see a bunch of videos here. This is my second video, by the way. You'll see informative videos, just music videos in general, anything music related. If that sounds interesting to you, hit the subscribe button below. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. Hope you guys found this helpful. I'll see you guys next time.